Many years ago, my youngest son was diagnosed with a heart condition called dysautonomia, or POTS. He was able to learn post-traumatic growth through this experience. I found this was important, so I shared it in my book, Trial Tappers, and I will share it here with you in illustration.
As young parents, my wife and I were just trying to survive the monthly bills, career changes, sports, and homework. Suddenly, one of my middle school-aged sons got very sick and randomly started passing out. After missing several weeks of school, he underwent a barrage of medical tests, including many blood draws and other intrusive exams. After months of exams, doctors still couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. This journey included a lot of physical and emotional pain for all of us. The doctors were chasing symptoms like fainting, nausea, weakness, and racing heart, but none of them could pinpoint the root cause. After several months of frustration, a family practice doctor figured out there was something wrong with my son's blood pressure between lying down and standing up. A few months prior to all of this, a virus had attacked the system that regulated my son's blood pressure. We learned that it might never correct itself, and there was currently no cure. After more extensive tests, we found that my son has dysautonomia, or Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia syndrome, POTS. Basically, his heart does not work correctly, resulting in a blood pressure problem. This was not high blood pressure like a 50-year-old might have. In my son's case, his blood pressure dropped when standing up, which caused lightheadedness, racing heart, and nausea. Now that we had discovered the problem, we began to do our research and found that this is a very rare disease, and most doctors had no idea what it was or how to treat it. There was only one expert in our state who could definitely diagnose him using specific tilt table machines. The diagnosis required my son to begin taking 3 medications a day, 3 times a day. These medications did not cure the disease, they only treated the symptoms, because there is no cure. The disease changed his life of sports, spending time with friends, and attending a full day of school. There were no support groups in our state, as very few boys around the country have this condition. POTS is what survivors call the invisible disease. Even though it was a physical ailment, they couldn't see my son's illness. Although there is hope that his blood pressure will regulate toward a normal pattern in the future, he may have to endure this trial for the rest of his life. Most youths with POTS are homeschooled or only attend part days. My son has remained in school and graduated high school. He could have given up on school, as he had every excuse in the world to stay at home in bed. He had a medical excuse to feel sorry for himself with a limited view of his future. My son instead chose to exceed the expectations of his doctors and committed to live life to the fullest, despite his chronic illness. What did my son learn from disease? How did he turn his trial into something positive? I can state for a fact that my son has developed kindness and empathy for others who suffer. While in school, he mentored handicapped children for several years and was asked by school counselors to become a member of the Hope Squad, a school peer-to-peer suicide prevention program. Due to all the medical exams, my son became very good in his health classes. He also began working with animals and joined the Future Farmers of America, FFA. Who knows what the future holds for him? Will he become a veterinarian? Will he help the mentally ill and become a counselor like myself? Will he become a medical provider like his mother? Or will he find a cure for this disease? The future is bright for my son, and he is becoming stronger every day. The key to his success has been his ability to focus on things he can control. He can't control his heart, but he can control how he manages his health, expresses how he is feeling to others, and his observable actions toward others. Although his illness of POTS is invisible to most, his attitude and positive actions are demonstrating growth. He can use this strength to overcome future trials in his life.
I hope you enjoyed the illustration of how my son found post-traumatic growth living with a chronic heart condition. If you know anyone else who is struggling with a chronic condition, please share this video with them. If you want to see another example of how we overcame a trial in our life, watch this next video.